What is going on, fellow humans and resellers? It is I, James, redoptionagency.com. 21 years full-time selling on eBay. And we are Thursday. Nothing's changed. But the resistance out there is crazy, isn't it? For people who just, since I've started showing the issues and talking about the issues that I have with the eBay website, I will say that there was a lot of people who dismissed me, who would talk crap about me, and a lot of them started coming around seeing that this is a real thing. And I think a lot of you guys helped that along, because I was a lone voice out here. And I've got, over the past year plus, I've been trying to call out the issues. The amount of blowback I've been getting from people, most people would have just moved on and not dealt with it. But that's never been my mentality. Because I speak the truth. I speak what is real. I don't sugarcoat anything. Well, I might sugarcoat some things here and there, but I don't fake anything, right? I'm not going to, if I'm experiencing it, I'm experiencing it. And there's a reason for it. What that reason is may be up in the air, but I'm having the experience, right? So I'm not going to back down from anything that is happening, that is real time happening, real stuff to me. I'm just not going to do it. And slowly, more important, as you guys started speaking up about issues too, and sharing your issues that you're dealing with, more important people had jumped on board admitting there are issues going on. And maybe them themselves has started seeing it. But still, even as of yesterday, there's still people out there who will say that I just make a video complaining, but I sell low dollar crap. And those people clearly don't watch my videos. They didn't see the beginning of June till about the 15th of June, the numbers I was doing, the stuff that was going, I was selling, when I was getting no errors, no issues. And I was very vocal about that. I'm like, I've got no issues today. I mean, I think there was a couple of times where I had a server failure in there, but for the most part, most of the days it was about 90% where, like I said in the videos, 90% of where I felt it should be. There were still little things off that needed tweaked, but it felt like it had come around. And when you saw the numbers I was doing, my average sales day was way up, and the amount of items were way up, almost back to where I feel they should be, the norm. And then drops again. You know, those people don't watch the content. They just need to, I don't know what it is. Live in denial, not see it. I mean, they probably don't even spend a lot of time on eBay themselves. So they look at it and view it in a different perspective and think that their perspective is correct, even though their perspective does not equal someone else's perspective. So it's like, somebody stand in front of somebody stand in back of somebody, and I see your face, and the other guys, no, you don't. You see the back of their head. No, I see the face. No, you see the back of their head, just because that's what they see, type of scenario, if that makes sense. I just pulled that out of my butt, so. Basically, the perspective was what matters in the situation. I'm sure there's a better analogy out there than that, but that was the first thing that popped in my head. But they feel, and they'll go around saying, yeah, this dude's crazy. All he does is complain about all he sees is the person's face. It's the back of the head. They're stupid. They don't know what they're doing. And that's what it is. It's different perspective. I mean, when you have, like on the eBay tech boards, there's a person who don't even sell on eBay, who goes around And I'm sure he's trying to do the good deeds, and he's trying to play the eBay rep, basically, on the message boards. And he does it on the message boards there, and he does it on the message board, on the down detector. And I'm sure he's got a good heart trying to do the right thing to basically weed out all the little nuances that newbie sellers have. Not cleaning the cache, et cetera, those kind of things. But I am 21 years beyond that. And, but when he gives resistance to me and I just tell him, go watch my videos, you'll understand. And then he still comes back. I don't have time for that crap. So, and I've noticed other people have been responding on to him also on there, but different perspective. He has no idea because he's not on eBay X amount of hours a day. He's just a shopper and probably a periodical shopper. He spends more times on the message boards trying to help people than actually seeing issues. So, and nothing wrong with that, but just don't, know where to draw the line. But it's just, still this morning I'm getting server errors already. So, and then again yesterday it started slacking off toward the end of the day. I got the majority of the sales in the 2.5 hour window in the morning, 8:30 to like 10. I got 18 to 20 sales in that hour and a half. So, the only thing I can hope for now with all these issues back is making the minimum, $720 and then $520 into my account. That covers my payroll, bills, and everything. So that's all I try to hope for these days with all the issues going on. So yesterday I made it to 784, so I made it past my low point. So that's at least a positive. Another positive was the organics jumped up, back up to the average where I think they should have been before they implemented all these new promoted rules. But 24 organic sold, 31 promoted. Still only 55 items. It kind of just killed off. Like I said, I had 20 in 2.5 hours at the beginning of the day, and then just kind of trickled in here and there the rest of the day. But to show you that even though I had the organics back to normal yesterday, today it's all jacked up again. There was about a 6-hour window overnight. Nothing came through. Offers still seem to be jacked up. Still people complaining about offer issues, and also 3 offers in 12 hours. And if you don't know, I'm a multiple offer per hour store. So to get 3 in 12 hours, something wrong. And that could also play into the fact that offers is kind of hidden if people go into your store. But that being said, we are at 9:30 this morning. 10 items sold, 10 promoted, 0 organic. So there you go. So that issue persists. And at 10 a.m., I like to be 150 to 250 low. When everything works overnight, I'm usually beyond 250 in the morning. We are at 152. So at the low end of where I like to be, at least with the 6-hour shutdown, but that ain't going to say much compared to the past several days, especially yesterday. I could end up only doing $300 today, the way the site's been acting. So, but it is what it is for now. All we can do is just keep raising the voices. I mean, that's all you can do. So, because if you don't, it's just going to drive you crazy. So at least when you're seeing it, you're not alone. And you have like a bigger quantity store on your side that sees the patterns and can call out the patterns that maybe a lower store doesn't see. So comment somebody pointed me to yesterday was, Yeah, I hate these YouTubers at 50,000 items in their stores and all they can do is complain about eBay not working when it's because they sell low dollar crap or something like that. And that's where the different perspectives come into play. So, what you don't know, you're not going to know until you learn. And I'm trying to teach you, but you just don't want to learn. All right, so that's where we are this morning. And today is Thursday, so it's YouTube day. I've been kind of neglecting the whole YouTube play because of what's been going back on with eBay, but everything's about the same. We can go, let's see, the number of subscribers I think has fallen, but let me go to like a 7-day period and see what's going on. So yeah, everything's pretty much looks like it's fallen. Haven't been putting too much emphasis in on the thumbnails because, as we know, thumbnails and the right title is big on YouTube, getting those things just to pop just right. So last 7 days, 23,000 views, down 28%. Watch time, 5.4 thousand hours, 14% less than last week. Subscribers, only 66, down 47%. And estimated revenue, $296. So that's down also. So going down, not going the right direction on YouTube, but that's all right. YouTube is a one I haven't cracked the code on yet. I haven't figured out. But let's go to some comments and questions and stuff. And then we can get started. You didn't see that yawn. Josh says, often when I am trying to add photos to a listing, the screen doesn't load. I have to close and clear the app and try again. Have you experienced this as well? That happens on like a periodical thing for me. It's maybe one every 15 items that it won't load, and I have to not just close it up, but I have to make sure it closes out. So I have to like do on the iPhone, you do the very little thing so it pops up and then you close all the windows. I have to do it like that, basically restarting the app to get it to work right. Then also about every 20 items, it crashes. So about every 20 items I take pictures with on the iPhone, the app crashes. Those two issues for me have been going on 3 years, so they haven't stopped. With no matter what phone I use, it does it. It does it on my 10, Jan's 11, and mine 13. So it happens on all the phones across the board. But yeah, it'll just freeze up at times and not load and just sit there, and then you have to kind of close the app. Not close the app, but reboot the app, basically. Complete, I don't know what you would call that, when you kind of close it, but you like more than close it, if that makes sense. So yes, that happens to me about every 15 to, and then 20, every 20 it crashes. Right about that. So, which of the bins do you go to? I have found the one in Bridgeton is better than the one downtown. I go to the one in Bridgeton. I like them both for different reasons. Downtown, you can get a lot more older stuff better. You know, whether it's like vinyl or vintage clothing, you can get more quantity of that downtown, or just vintage items, period, older items. Whereas, and it's the surroundings, you know, you're in the city, so you're in old country, you know, old money, whatever. Bridgeton, you're in, you know, there's Newtown out there and stuff like that, where you have newer families, so the stuff's going to be newer and more Target stuff and things like that, you know. So I like them both. We went to the bins today, not a lot pretty picked over. Found about 10 pair of good shoes. Spent $21. Spent 21, profit around 300. It's not even old items getting buried, as I have been sweeping up the dead meat. I am finding numerous items that have been deleted completely. I would have to say maybe 10%. I check on some listings randomly, and I have a fairly recent listing deleted, so I went back to it and checked it over, and there was no actual reason for it to be missing. So I had to put it back up and recheck, and now it's where it belongs because I was sorting by money amount. And there's always been a thing about eBay where listings will just vanish. And with me being a larger store, sometimes it's an item sells, never gets paid for, and kind of gets lost in the shuffle. For some reason, it doesn't get filed as a non-paying bidder. So with a bigger store, I have a lot more reasons why it may not happen, but there still are some of those items that go, I know this was listed. I know nobody bought it. Why it's vanished. So, but of course, it's not 100% science, so that's why I don't really talk about it too much, because there are other reasons why it could happen. But yeah, everyone feels it does happen. Ship and Shore was 60s and 70s. Talking about the clothing, I did finally sell one piece of the vintage clothing, so our one's already sold. So you spend too much time each video repeating the whole don't give others the time. Take your own advice, dude. I'm here for you, not drama. Well, I gotta say what's on my mind. I'm gonna say what's on my mind. And when I see people coming at you, you know what I'm gonna say? Don't give others the time. Just don't do it. Just stop. Just don't. Don't give others the time. Just stop. Don't do it. Don't give others a... Okay, I'll stop. Let's see. The Alvin Jet CD looked to be signed with a pen inside. Yes, it is. It is. If it quacks like a duck, looks like a duck, it's a duck. Unless it's someone impersonating a duck. Now, there's pretty good outfits out there nowadays. If eBay goes silent for 9 hours when you have thousands of items, it's definitely broken. It's definitely something. We know that. Yet all the other eBay YouTubers will say, no, it just means that you don't have good items or you need to promote more. If it was that easy, I would have it figured out. But I got a lot of good items too. So, and some eBay YouTubers don't even sell on eBay, yet want their ambitions on eBay treated like gospel. True that. I think it's funny when you're making money off of YouTube with eBay videos and you don't even sell on eBay anymore. Kind of like, huh? People still fall for that? Nice sales, loving these quick flips for you. Yeah, that's the hustle couple. Hey, what's up, Dan and Amy? And that's the thing. And I've got some quick flips here. So including that vintage dress I sold. And I kind of like the way I'm doing it now, and I'm going to keep that way until I decide to change it again. But putting, like, when I list it, filling up my glass cubes. And then once all the glass cubes are filled, then I work on bringing it down and then start all over again. That way you can kind of see the items that move quicker for me. And that's better info for you. Because like I've said a million times, everybody's different business, and the more nuggets you can pull out of a video, the better off you're going to be. So even if you like the way I run the business or my style of business, but yet you can't do it, you can still at least pull nuggets out like quick flips and stuff like that. So the eBay engine is awful, not seller or buyer friendly at all. Yeah, yesterday it was still a pain in the butt searching for stuff too. That search is just completely jacked. And yesterday, for a extended period of time, I think the whole evening, every time I was looking up the CDs, it was all international first again. So that appears to kind of be back in the play. And if you saw the video I did yesterday with the live server error, I also showed that other issue, which I think is kind of related to search locations when you list, because it all kind of ties it together. You crack me up. Hey buddy, great video. I could not get eBay working at all for several hours today, so I ended up having to push hard tonight once it started working again. Let's hope it gets better tomorrow. See you on the next one. Same here. I have had a strong week, and last week at around 7 Eastern time, everything completely stopped. I'm watching this at 10:50 p.m. Wednesday night and only have one sale in 28 hours. Something is definitely up again. I went to see Jan's Ornaments Haul. Dude, she's got so many freaking ornaments. It's crazy. The whole living room is just flooded with ornaments now. I'm like, I think your addiction's getting out of control. But hey, if she's having fun, that's all that matters. She works 60 hours a week. She can have what fun she wants to have when she's off. And if the living room's a mess, the living room is a mess. The kitchen's always been a mess. We live in the house. It's a lived-in house, you can tell. So, I still do not promote, although there are still errors and shutdowns. Sales have started to come back the last 2 days. They have moved the more items like this strip below the description. I knew this was a main problem. Have they? I haven't looked. I will check on that today. That would be nice if they did move it back down under the description, because putting it that close, I mean, even yesterday I had a couple of cancellations. So, I mean, sometimes I would go maybe 1 or 2 every 3 days, but now I've had multiple cancellations daily. How do you put the cha-ching sound I hear when you make a sale? If you go into settings, I think, go into settings, go into eBay, and then there should be something there to turn on the notification. Turn it on. You can back out, close up your phone, whatever. If it still don't work, then reboot your phone. And since you clicked it on and you reboot your phone, it should start up then. That should be the way to do it. Won't help, eBay just sucks at IT. Well, and I don't think I've said this on video. Somebody had commented saying that they know somebody who works at eBay, and they were told that one of their top IT guys quit. One of their top programmers quit. Whether that's true or not, I personally have not confirmed it, but it wouldn't surprise me. I could see people just throwing up their hands going, this is a mess. I have been promoting everything for a long time. Organic sales will be less and less. Resellers need to buy low, sell high, so they can't afford to pay the extra money to sell their items. Yeah, and so that's what I've been saying. And it's only going to make it more difficult, especially people who maybe don't have like a bins or don't have a lot of yard sales around them, to get product. So you're going to have to really step up your game. If you're used to buying $2 and $3 items, $4 items and selling for $12, $15, but then you got to promote to play the game, you do like Marcus does. He drives 2 hours to hit the bins, gets the lower dollar items, and does it that way. So, and that's what I mean by stepping up your game. You might have to travel more, a little bit farther to get cheaper items. There's always a way around. There's always a way to do everything. You just got to find the path to do it. And for everybody, the path starts in a different position. So just like life, everybody starts in a different position, and everybody's got different obstacles to wander through. And simple thing is locations, to skin colors, to back in the 70s, 80s, hair length. I mean, even little nuances like that shouldn't matter do. And then you have logistics on top of it, like money in society. Can't afford a car, eating bologna sandwiches instead of eating caviar. That kind of rhymed. I like that. Can make that into a song. I can't afford a car. I drink bologna sandwiches instead of caviar. I wouldn't eat caviar if I could. Ugh. But anyway, so there's always a way. Always a way. All I got to say is never play the victim, but call out the BS. All right. Jan. I should have finished that other big one. Won't help. eBay sucks at IT. I have reported the error half a dozen times, and they tell me not only they cannot see the error, they say no one has reported it. And see, that's the aggravating thing, is the reps are out of the loop too. They are basically a step over us. That's all they are. And then the step between them and the next level is miles. They are not told anything except what they need to know. The eBay is run like the government is run. You're on a need-to-know basis. And when you work on a need-to-know basis, you can get away with anything. So, and you don't get caught. I am like the guy standing outside of Area 51 going, I know there's spaceships in there, right? And people are looking at me going, you're nuts. I know there's problems with eBay. People on YouTube, you're nuts. Same difference. Need to know basis. Until eBay gets a new IT management team with a sensible physiology. I'm tired of knowing words and not being able to pronounce them, but I've said them a million times before. Philosophy for resolving issues, we will be stuck with this garbage app they are so proud of. Yeah, I mean, like I said, they can't be this clueless. The only thing is still what I'd said prior is they know what's going on, but they're accepting it because they're within a window of rebuild. Well, we know there's going to be problems in this rebuild. Here's the head of the CEO of eBay to the board. Well, we're going on this 3-year adventure, and we know it's going to take longer than 3 years because what rebuilding doesn't, turn into more problems, and it's, strings out a little bit longer than we're anticipating, but we're shooting for 3 years, you see. So what I need you to do is don't panic. We're going to be in this window for a while where things are going to be bad. It's going to be rocky. It's going to be a rough road. We're going to lose probably a lot of money, but when it's completed, it's going to be amazing. Can I throw a little Donald Trump in there? It's going to be very amazing. I can't do it. If I'm trying to do it, I can't do it. It's going to be very amazing. And when we get there, we're all going to be swimming in money. if we don't go broke first. And we're going to have a lot of fun. And there's going to be a whole string of new resellers and new buyers on the platform that's going to love it. Unless they all go bankrupt. And we're just going to enjoy it all. And that's what I see happened. They painted a window of time that X was going to happen, which was going to cause Z and Y to happen, and then go back to A and B and C and D and E and F. And so they're rolling with it, hoping that in the end, whenever that end is, everything will be glorious. And we're just stuck on the ride, going, turn it off, please. I'm getting sick. I'm going to puke. Turn off the ride. Nope, you're on it, buddy. You are on it. Unless you jump off to your death, you are on the ride. So, but what they forgot is all the other passing trains going the opposite direction, and people are jumping from one train to the next and hopping on those trains, and those trains are slowly filling up, emptying the eBay train. That train Poshmark, that train whatnot, just flying by, picking people off, saving them from the eBay train. What's next? Don't know. We'll see. But anyway, that's enough of that. Let's get on to some stuff. I got a little bit to ship because overnight sales wasn't that good, but got some quick flips from the upstairs. I did look him up, and yes, Pug Life, Doug the Pug, was on the Found on Friday video series. So tomorrow, Found on Friday, so I got to get out. I have to. I got a video series to do. So I got to get out, go find some yard sales and or thrift store tomorrow. See what Found on Friday can bring me tomorrow, and then we'll update you on how much money we've made, how much money we've spent, and we'll also look and see how much money the YouTube video has made. So, doing a whole circle there. But Pug sold for $13.50, headed to Bridgeport, Connecticut. So he was a Found on Friday. I'm surprised the shirt hasn't sold yet. Yeah, I was going to put him with the shirt if he had no value, but I was able to put him up for $14.99, so I'm like, hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. Do it, dog. I got a negative I got to see if they'll remove. I'm hoping... Normal circumstances, they should remove it. I'm going to call it in. But being that they've kind of seem like they're kind of getting away from removing as much. Person opened a return. I have free returns. So when you open a free return and when it's closed, the negatives are supposed to be erased. So he opened a return. I accepted it. Done everything I was supposed to do. He said he didn't get the return label. I go, well, it's on eBay. It's showing me that I accepted it. The return label's there for you to print out. Well, I didn't get it. And he left a negative, saying I never responded to him and all this and that when I was talking with him. So then he went ahead and escalated it to eBay. So eBay closed it, gave him a refund, but didn't take it from me. So it's technically closed in my favor, I think. So they should remove that negative, but it hasn't removed it automatically. So I'll have to see if they'll remove it. If I get the right rep, they'll remove it. But if I don't... All right, are you ready for a CD like... Got 7, I think mostly promo CD singles, or all promo CD singles. Headed to Panorama City, California. And they all sold for $57. We got Avant. We got Buccelli. We got Maz Def. We've got a little Domino Theory, 1 time and 2 times. We got As Yet, and we got the 1 in a Million, Aaliyah. So, 7 CDs. Let me grab the middle. One in a million too. One in a million. I'm singing Trickster's 1 in a Million. All right. Fight the power. Fight the power. That's what I feel like I'm doing with eBay videos nowadays. I'm fighting the power. Next up, we got Supremes 45. I Hear Symphony and Who Could Ever Doubt. Sold for $4.20, headed to Riviera, Massachusetts. Alpha, beta, alpha, beta, alpha, beta. I haven't watched that movie in forever. Alpha, beta. We're lamb to lamb to lamb, the Omega Moves. And the Omega Moves. Reaching, we got a show for you. I don't remember how it went. So Jan went to the bench yesterday. And there was so much media over there, she called me. Get over here. Got tons of CDs. Good dollar CDs too, and a lot of sealed stuff. So apparently they didn't get through it all in the back or something. Put it up on the site because I put up some good dollar CDs so far. So we got this Lee Extreme Comfort Pants, men's pant. All right, guess I had too many videos on my phone. I haven't deleted enough yet, so kind of stopped on me. All right. Delete the power. All right. 1, 6. And then we've got this shipping change that's going to be coming up. How bad is that going to mess up eBay? I'm not looking forward to that. Not looking forward to that at all. All right, the Pernice Brothers CD. The Supremes 45 was a quick flip. The Pug was a quick flip. We got Pernice Brothers, sold for $420, headed to Inglewood, Colorado. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. All right, we got River City Rascals hat, sold for $10.50, headed to Woodlands, Texas. All right, so yesterday I started my next phase of the me sessions. So for the past several weeks, I've just been doing whatever, right? Like I haven't been exercising. I've just been more of trying just to release the mental part, right? Just kind of relax the mind, not expect nothing of myself at all. Just kind of letting myself go. Now, of course, you don't want to get too far into that because when you do, you're just going to fall out of control. But for me, I've had so much, the last 7 years have been just a big emotional roller coaster. A little over 7 years. From my brother, taking care of my dad dying, Vern dying, taking care of Vern, Jan's health issues. So I just allowed myself to just, whatever, if I want to eat, I did control my eating better, but if I wanted chicken, I'm going to eat chicken, right? Still was drinking a soda every day. Just whatever, I don't care. Still keeping a little bit of handle on it because I don't want to get it out of control. Where I'm like eating, 3,000 calories a day or something like that. I still kept it all under control. 2,000 or less calories, Still staying about the same weight, not gaining, but not losing. Just kind of just being. And I think I am okay for the next step now. Because you can't really push. You can push yourself to do something, but if you're not mentally ready to do it, it's just not going to happen. No matter how hard you try, and it's just going to be more frustrating because it's just going to pile on top of the stuff you've already mentally going through, right? So it's good to just release all those years of, you're basically changing your life, right? You're basically reinventing yourself, if you will, when you've had so many years of emotions and, I don't even know how to describe caring for somebody else. But it's just a, like you don't, you're not first. You don't think of that. You don't even comprehend that. But then the stress and the pressure and the worry and just everything is just piles up on you that when it's all over, you're just left standing there like confused, like what just happened? You just been ran over by 7 years worth of trains, right? And you're like, now you're standing there all alone. I guess that was a good way to put it. But yeah, 7, maybe I'm not ready. 7 years of just the same old thing. But like me, I realized what was there, thankfully. Because that's why it hurts more that it's not there now. So it's like 7 years of just the same old thing and same old, caring. And I guess that's the thing. The caring came over the stress, and the caring was always first, but the stress was always like subliminal. I guess it was there, and you could tell it with, you know, with other things like can't sleep right, or, you know, gain weight, etc., etc., right? So you know it's there. But then when it's all gone, and you're just left standing there like, what now? Kind of lost or confused. So basically having to get out of that mindset, change that mindset, and find yourself again and figure yourself out. I mean, 7 years is a long time. Caring for a relative, your dad, that changes you. So there's a lot going on. So you have to just stop. At least I had to. I had to just stop. And maybe I'm not there yet, but I'm going to try to take the next step. And just not expect nothing. Just get used to the being alone and the not having to do every day, you know. But that also entails I don't know, just not just finding yourself again, but finding a reason to love yourself again, if that makes sense. Because you didn't matter before. What mattered was what was in front of you, what was happening. Now trying to love yourself and make sure that you matter first. Since you're standing there alone, if you don't, you know, it's like, I don't know, a lot of voids to fill, right? I guess that's a good way of putting it too. A lot of voids to fill. So like for the past week, I've been telling myself, no soda today, just drink water. It's not that hard. It shouldn't be that difficult. Just drink. But I just get in this habit routine where I go post office and I go to the gas station and grab a soda. And maybe a bag of hot chips, right? And then that's my lunch. Which ain't the worst thing, but it ain't the best thing, right? So, and then I eat dinner when everybody's home. So, which is usually 8 or 9 at night, which ain't good. So, I don't know, just. So yesterday I started doing, I think maybe that's what I'll do. I'll just slowly get into it. Like, so yesterday I started doing more exercising, like that I've never really done before, like sit-ups. Every time I go into the bathroom, I'll do 50 sit-ups. And then I also do the one that I learned from the chiropractor that helps my back, where you get on all fours and you put one arm out and the opposite leg out, and you do like 10 reps, and then you switch and do 10 reps on all fours. So every time I go in the bathroom, I'll do 50 of those and 20 of those, and then do that several times a day. So I started that yesterday. So I'm going to make sure I continue that at least today. So I'm taking that next little step. And then I'm telling myself, no soda, no soda, no soda. But I got a feeling I'm probably going to get a soda today. But what I need to do is, instead of telling myself no soda, is tell myself to put a water next to the soda. And if I waste the soda, I waste the soda. But drink the water first. So I think I'm still going to take the baby steps, but I'm on the next step. How about that? Like, I want to go bike riding, but I don't really want to. I know I would enjoy it once I get there, but it's like, so, I don't know. So I'm on the next step. How about that? We got a Kids Bass Pro hat sold for $9.50. Head to Vista, California. So the next step is just little basic exercises every time I go to the bathroom. Like if I didn't still have like the responsibility of the business and Courtney, I'd be hiking every day. I would just go somewhere and hike, just get lost in the woods. Hike 10 miles a day. That's what I would do. See her head popping out. I don't know if you can see it on there. All right, next up we've got another t-shirt from the first yard sale video I put out, Green Day. Sold for $9.50. Head to Ephrata, Washington. Something of that nature. They smell so good though. I don't know what detergent they use, but it smells good. And that's been weeks and it still smells good. I need to find out that detergent. Hell, that's been a couple of months now. Yeah, because I don't really think, I don't know. Like, I'm like, when I work all day, I'm like, what defines me? And like, I have nothing but the business. That's all I have right now. That's what James is the business. Selling on eBay. That's James. Like, we don't have friends we hang out with. They all got their own things going on, or they're moved 2 hours away, or whatever the case may be, and haven't really had time to make new friends, like in-person friends or anything. So I don't know. Get this RCA Mega Change vintage t-shirt sold for $14. Headed to Atlanta, Georgia. So I gotta I gotta find more than just the business, you know? I gotta figure that out. The business and YouTube videos, plus bike riding, and plus, I don't know, but I don't know if that's enough, you know? I don't know. Baby steps. I think at first, I didn't realize how big. I think the more and more I think about it, the more and more I realize how big of a change my life is today compared to 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. How drastic of a change it is. And when you don't really have family anymore, and you are literally sitting there alone, or you feel like it, at least anyway, alone compared to where you spent most of your life growing up, right? I guess it's a harder change than what I anticipated it would be, I guess. Or it's going to take longer than I anticipated it's going to take. And a big reason for that might be because I don't really have much going on in my life. I have the business and these YouTube videos. I don't have a friend. I mean, I got a couple friends I could call up and say, hey, let's hang out. And if they're free, they could. But then I'm like, well, I don't think I'm in the right mindset to do that even, you know? I mean, what would I do? If they said, well, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? I'd be like, I don't know. You know, it's like, so I don't know. So I don't want to burden anybody. Vision Quest DVD. This was a quick flip, one of the DVDs I picked up the yard sales last Saturday. Sold for $4.20, headed to Long Beach, California. So I've sold 3 of the DVDs so far. Made $14, $13, 13 maybe? $13 to $14. Spent $20 on them. But yeah, so I'm trying to be excited about no expectations. I'm the more time goes on, I'm trying to accept and enjoy no expectations. And it's harder to do than I thought it would be. I thought the old selfish James will be back and woohoo, right? But he's not coming back that easily. Simon and Garfunkel, Sound of Silence vinyl. Quick flip. Picked up, this was from the last yard sale. Sold for $4.20, headed to St. George, Utah. Oh. I guess the fact that I can stand here and talk to a camera, essentially talking to you guys, even though I can't see you or talk to you live, helps. Maybe helps me realize, kind of like brainstorming with you. Brainstorming with myself, whatever. And then, of course, reading the comments. So I guess it is kind of brainstorming with you. Alrighty, we got a Cardinals cap. Sold for $6. Headed to Miss Hawka, something, Indiana. Miss Hawkaka? I'm tired of trying to pronounce these damn places. And it sounds Native American and I can't even pronounce it. Osage tribe. No, not Cherokee. Like growing up, everybody's saying, oh, I'm part Cherokee, I'm part Cherokee. I'm like, okay. The whole damn city can't be part Cherokee. Let me see your 23andMe. That's weird, like growing up, how everybody wanted to be Native American. At least in the south side of St. Louis in the 80s. All right, next up we've got Auburn Tigers hat. Sold for $10.50, headed to Montgomery, Alabama. Of course, I'm more German than Native American, though. What you doing, baby girl? We got one international and it's a multiple. So, are you ready for a hat lot? Yeah. Going to Switzerland. We've got Graphy Control. We got a watermelon slice. And we've got Pop Shop Authentic Pigment hat. All three sold for $31.50. Headed to Switzerland. On one hand, like, I don't like being an emotional person, but on the other hand, I'm glad I am. Because at least I don't hold anything back. I don't pin anything up. And that's another reason why I say whatever's on my mind, because I don't like, there's no point in holding things back because it just builds up, right? And I do emotions kind of the same way. Like, I will freely express myself verbally or emotionally. I don't care what anybody thinks, says, whatever, because it's a release, you know. Like, some people they feel they have to hold it back, whether that's because of the way they were raised or they were, you know, because their parents, I mean, my parents, I guess, kind of looked down upon it too, but I was thankfully had a mindset where I didn't care what anybody thought. But where some people may have been, you know, in a little bit more of a different situation where they couldn't show emotion, you know, and things like that. So they had to suppress it. And so it became who they are. It became just a mechanism. So I've always been thankful for that. But I think, like, being bullied and stuff as a kid was kind of what led me to not caring what other people thought. Because when you went from being treated like crap because you didn't fit in, after so much of that, you just throw your hands in the air and go, I give up. I don't care. Fuck you. Oops, sorry. Is that going to ruin my video? But you know what I mean. Just like, that's the attitude. I try not to curse on this thing so that YouTube don't punish me for bad words. But oh well. We're all adults here. But so on one end I questioned, would I be the same person if I wasn't bullied as a kid, you know? And then would I be the same person if I didn't have a 6 foot something, 200-pound plus big old black woman in 7th grade take... What is going on with this phone today? I'm going to probably have to reboot it or something. That's twice now it stopped. But anyway, as I was saying, I don't know when it shut off, but did the fact that I had this 6 foot something, 200-pound plus black woman, you know, in 7th grade take up for me when I was being bullied, that gave me the courage to start standing up for other people who were being picked on, because I had a backup if somebody messed with me. So it was kind of like an extension. Like after that, when I started seeing other people picked on, I started standing up for them. And then if they wanted to mess with me, well, they had to mess with her. And then after I went into high school, I still stayed in that same mentality, even though I didn't have the backup. I didn't need it at that time, because after 14, I started coming into my own. And I was able to start standing up for my damn self. Maniac's hat sold for $8. Benton Beach, Florida. So would I be the same person if I didn't get bullied? Maybe not. And I'm not saying bullying's good or bad or any. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying, how different would I be if it didn't happen? You know? Like, I was able to spin it into a positive thing where some people can't. But for some reason, I've always had a different mindset than my family. I don't know where it came from. Like, I didn't think like my dad. I didn't think like my mom. I didn't think like the people around me. I don't know how. I'm always trying to figure out how I got the mindset I got, which was completely different from the rest of my family. Like, what created that? What caused that? Because if everybody could have, not everybody, but if more people who have like the victim mentality, or just not emotionally stable, or can't take up for themselves, if they could figure out how to get that mentality, their life would be better. So how did I get it? How was, is it DNA? Was it taught? Was it because I interpreted things differently? I don't know. I'm always trying to figure that out, because if I could figure it out, then maybe I could help even more people. I don't know. That might sound weird to some people. I might sound like a crackpot right now. I don't know. Anyway, here's the vintage dress that I sold. Sold for $19, headed to McKinney, Texas. So this is with somebody said they were the Komoda, or something. I put it in the title. There it is. The kimono sleeves. Vintage dress. No name on it. Sold for $19. Kimono. Oh. I guess that whole thing I just spewed out kind of tells you exactly where I am mentally right now with finding myself again. Being I don't have I have a whole lot less responsibility than I've had. So I guess you just kind of heard a big old self-therapy session on me trying to figure out who the hell I am and where to go from here. But it's okay to be in that position. It's great to be in that position. A lot of people don't get to that position. A lot of people could go from one extreme, helping somebody all the time, to the next extreme of never figuring things out and being totally lost the rest of their life. So I feel honored to be able to be in this position, to try to figure it out and not just be down about it or sad about it. Being able to have the mindset to always think and always try to figure things out, and trying to figure out how I got that mindset, why I got that mindset, and other people don't got that mindset. Maybe my mind is just too busy, period, all the time. All right. That is all for today. And you're probably thinking, if you're still here, good Lord, it's about damn time. We are at $234 at 10:40 a.m. So we'll see how the day turns out. We're still going backwards. Only up 12.5% now. So we're going backwards, unfortunately. But anyway, let me get this thing off this phone done and rebooted before it loses more of my videos or something. So, all right. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Later.